Ideology may be defined as a political belief system. As a phenomenon, it is the mainspring of an individual's way of looking at politics and political life. Just like any other belief, an ideology is like a lens through which we see the world, and our perception affects the way we behave. The word ideology was first used during the French Revolution by Antoine Destutt-Tracy to mean a new science of ideas, and used it in the same sense as biology, psychology, astronomy, etc. However, it was Karl Marx who popularized the word as a political term. Although there are many ways by which the term ideology may be defined, it has nevertheless three main characteristics. 1. It presents a description of the way things are, particularly in the form of a worldview. A worldview is a mental model of reality, a comprehensive framework of ideas and attitudes about the world, ourselves, and life, a system of beliefs, a system of personally customized theories about the world and how it works, with answers for a wide range of questions. 2. It offers a model of a desired future, an idea of a good society. 3. It explains how political change should be carried out, beginning from what is current to what should be in the future. It must be pointed out that like any other belief, an individual's ideological position may change throughout his lifetime. Our experiences may result in a shift the way we look at things, and this influences our behavior. Thus, just like a pair of goggles or eyeglasses which affects our vision, ideologies may alter the way we see the world and how we make decisions. Now, we shall discuss the different types of ideologies to help you determine what your beliefs are and evaluate their impact on your choices. The belief in the importance of the individual, respect for his uniqueness and freedom, and his equality with other people, are among the fundamental elements of liberalism. This ideology believes that every person has the natural ability to think rationally, thus capable of making the right choices that will ultimately enable us to create a better society. Furthermore, liberalism puts a lot of faith in the natural goodness of man, who will always act according to what is fair and beneficial to all. Thus, he deserves to be free. Individual freedom does not mean, however, doing whatever you want to do. There are limits to what you are allowed to do, such as prohibitions against actions that may harm other people. 4 concepts of liberalism. A. Democracy, literally, rule by the people. B. Free market, an unregulated system of economic exchange, in which taxes, quality controls, quotas, tariffs, and other forms of centralized economic interventions by government either do not exist or are minimal. C. Constitutional government, defined by the existence of a constitution. D. Political equality, the principle that each person should have an equal chance to gain jobs, offices, and other positions of advantage. To illustrate, our current laws in the Philippines guarantee freedom of speech and freedom of religion. We are free to express our political or religious views on different platforms, including social media, without the fear of being sent to prison. Moreover, our laws also recognize and protect the rights of all individuals regardless of their gender, cultural background, or political affiliations. Conservatism believes that human beings are imperfect, and they lack the potential to improve themselves. Consequently, social stability and security will not be possible if there are no mechanisms such as institutions that can control their behavior exists. Man cannot be simply left alone. In order to preserve society, a system of hierarchy and authority is necessary. For conservatives, tradition based on values, practices and institutions are essential for society to function properly. For conservatives, no individual can exist outside of society or the social groups that nurture him or her, such as family, friends, colleagues, local community, and the nation. Everyone must subject himself to authority that develops naturally in a society that is principally hierarchical. In addition, conservatives believe in the importance of property, which is considered necessary for social stability. Socialism is an ideology that looks positively on human nature. The idea that human beings have the capacity to improve themselves through life experiences is central to this ideology. It rejects the notion of predestination and affirms that human beings are capable of becoming greater than what they are. Hence, it is possible for people to create a better society where human beings live in the spirit of cooperation, equality, and cooperation, all of which are part of their nature. Socialists are committed to equality, which is why they are among the most vocal critics of the existence of social classes. To them, the idea of private property is unacceptable since it is one of the causes of competition and social inequality. Accordingly, socialism holds the view that all property must be communal, i.e., owned by everyone. In the Philippines, we hear of various local radical groups or organizations such as the Akbayan, Anak Pawis, Kilusang Mayo Uno, KMU, Bayan Muna, Trade Union Congress of the Philippines, TUCP, and Gabriela, who often call on the government through mass actions to adopt programs and policies that shall promote and safeguard the welfare of workers, women, children and other marginalized groups from exploitation and abuse. Between the First and the Second World Wars, fascism, an ideology of far-right, authoritarian ultranationalism characterized by dictatorial power, forcible suppression of opposition, and a strong regimentation of society and the economy, emerged dramatically in Europe, particularly in Germany and Italy. Benito Mussolini of Italy, Adolf Hitler of Germany and Hideki Tojo of Japan are names that always come to mind whenever we hear the word fascism. Fascism is essentially an ideology that rejects rationalism, logical thinking, and relies instead on its emotional appeal. The idea that life is a constant struggle and only the strongest survives is a central theme of this ideology. Thus, fascists do not believe in equality, asserting that some people are born to lead. There is no place for liberal democracy in fascism, and an authoritarian or dictatorial government capable of bringing national unity is needed to achieve economic and political stability. Violence, war, and imperialism are not necessarily considered unacceptable if they are a means to achieve national rejuvenation. Capitalism is mainly an economic rather than a political ideology. Nevertheless, just like political ideologies, capitalism offers a particular model for organizing society. It is actually the most predominant economic ideology in many parts of the world, and its presence is felt even in the most distant and smallest countries who actively participate in international trade. For capitalists, the driving force behind the desire of individuals to produce and sell goods and services is the desire for profit. To accumulate wealth as a means to improve one's position in society is a natural tendency for all human beings. If everyone will be concerned with increasing his wealth, social order shall be maintained. Hence, a large part of the production process must be kept in private hands and individuals must be given freedom to pursue their economic interests. The idea that mankind is ultimately destined to create a society where there are no social classes, no states, nor money, and where there is a common ownership of the means of production is the fundamental principle of the ideology called communism. Communism is an ideological response to the harmful consequences on the working class of industrial capitalism that became the most dominant economic system in 18th-century Europe. Like the socialists, communists openly criticized social and economic inequality and advocated for a classless society where there is no hierarchy or authority. Countries currently under the control of communist parties include the People's Republic of China, PROC, North Korea, Vietnam, and Cuba. The ideologies that were discussed above are just some of the few main examples of the most common and dominant types. The other varieties of ideologies that are currently gaining a significant degree of popularity and influence will be discussed in the next module.